Now, the question you asked is a very good question. Lagos is an embodiment of everything a state needs to succeed, right? It has all the right infrastructure. Talk about road networks, but then Lagos has been overrun by population, and that's why it looks like it doesn't have road network. But Lagos has an amazing network of roads. It has a seaport, which is the most important element in the mix, and that's why everybody's running to Lagos. That's why every big company is in Lagos. Every big company, manufacturing, service companies, logistics company, every single one of them are in Lagos, and more are moving to Lagos, right? So it's like Lagos is like how do you call it, a suction tube, like like a vacuum cleaner that sucks up everything in the house. Once you put on a vacuum cleaner, every dust in every corner is going right into that chamber. That's what Lagos is like. Every part of Nigeria is moving to Lagos, and you ask yourself why. It's because of this undue advantage that Lagos has. The question is, historically, how did this happen? Remember that Lagos used to be the capital of Nigeria, right? And every capital normally has everything a capital should have, and that includes infrastructure, roads, seaports, airports, federal buildings, headquarters, HQs, headquarters of different government parastatals and agencies, right? And so Lagos had it all. Right? Because it was once a seat of government in Nigeria. The military, the Dodon Barracks was the place where military leaders like Babangida, Buhari, even the very early ones, Murtala Mohammed and all of us, they lived at the Dodon Barracks, right? So Lagos had everything it needed to be the capital of Nigeria. But then somebody came and decided to move the capital to Abuja. But you move the capital to Abuja, that means administrative offices, national administrative offices had to move to Abuja. But Lagos continued to be the capital, but the commercial capital of Nigeria, because you couldn't carry away the seaports. All of this infrastructure that had been put in place over the years couldn't be taken away, right? You still had to leave them in Lagos. And so, because other states do not have what it takes, to build a very economically viable society, people had just have to leave those states. Imagine if you were from Ebonyi State, or you are from Bayelsa State. What infrastructures do you have that will compete with Lagos? You just have to go there. So if you have to do a business of importation or exportation, you just have to go to Lagos, right? And so because of this undue advantage, many businesses and individuals have moved from different parts of Nigeria to Lagos. But before I continue on that line, I want to say this. Dubai is a city that is most popular than the state. Do you know what I mean? Whenever ask 95% of Nigerians, I can almost tell you, on good authority, that if you ask 95% of Nigerians, where is Dubai, they'll tell you, what is Dubai? They'll tell you it's a country.
Yes.
Most Nigerians think Dubai is a country, but Dubai is not a country. Dubai is a city. The country is United Arab Emirates, but most Nigerians don't know this. Why? Dubai offers visas. Have you ever seen a city in a country that offers its own visa? Dubai does that. So I want to go to Dubai. You apply for a visa and then you get it. So it's not like you're applying to the United Arab Emirates to get a visa to go to the United Arab Emirates, which is the case when you're going to London, which is the case when you're going to America. You have to apply to the Embassy of the United States. If you're going to London, you are going to apply to the High Commission of the United Kingdom. So every other country that you go to China, you have to apply to the Embassy of China. But in the case of Dubai, you're applying to the Council of Dubai, whatever you call them, to get a visa to go to Dubai. And then from anywhere in the world, you fly straight from your country or any country in the world straight to Dubai. It has everything there, right? Now, this is what the southeast part of Nigeria can be. We have every potential to be like Dubai, but we can't quite be that because Lagos has taken it all, right? And it's a major problem, and so that's why I chose that topic.
Okay.
Yeah, for today.
Okay.
So I talked about the conglomeration of infrastructure. It's become a big problem that past administrations, even though most of them were Northerners, did not really think about decentralizing Lagos. I don't know why they never thought about that. Right? Now, there are a number of seaports we have, viable seaports for international trade available in Nigeria. But they have decided to make the Tinkan Island port the most busy and the number one and almost the only one that has national status. That is to say, they've given it every infrastructure and every investment that it needs to become a national port. Now, and they've gone ahead to build a second one recently, which is the Lekki Deep Sea Port. I think it's Lekki Deep Sea Port, right? Then that means Lagos is going to have two now. So how is it fair that Lagos is no more the capital of Nigeria, but continues to have undue advantage when it comes to infrastructure, right? Look at the level of federal government investment going on in Lagos. Now they just moved the central bank back to Lagos. Well, some departments of the central bank
not the
back
whole,
to
yes.
Lagos.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think that is fair? Now, why do I want to talk about this topic today? Because while we're not trying to pitch one tribe against the other, the loud noise of Lagosians and Yoruba people telling Igbos, get out of Lagos, yes. Go to your home. Every little, you won't open social media without seeing somebody saying, go back to Anambra State. Peter Obi did this, Peter Obi did that. Mm-hmm. Go back to your state, go back to your state. I mean, I'm getting really tired of that. Now, you're saying to the Igbos, return to your state, you're not wanted in Lagos. Lagos is no man's land. I hear you. Lagos is no man's land. Lagos belongs to Lagosians. But I want to tell you that at least 60% of the people in Lagos saying go back to your country, that Lagos is no man's land, are not Lagosians. Not even Tinubu. Tinubu is not a Lagosian. And yet all of his investments, most of his investments, if not all of them, are in Lagos State, right? Now, you have to understand, you, the Yoruba person that's saying to Igbo people, return to the south, is go back to Anambra State, go back to Ebonyi State. You that are saying that, you have to understand how Lagos came to be that state where everybody moves to. Mm-hmm. Probably you weren't born then. But the reason, number one reason, like I said, is because it was the national capital at some point. And so every national capital attracts citizens of the country where it's capital from different regions. And that's what happened in Lagos. So a lot of people moved from different parts of Nigeria, including the 5 southeastern states, to go live in Lagos. Now, when the capital moved, they didn't see need to move with the capital to Abuja. There are business people doing their business in Lagos. They built their families in Lagos. A lot of these business people got married in Lagos, married Yoruba or Hausa or Igbo or Efik or, South people, right? And built their families in Lagos, built their businesses in Lagos. So for them, a lot of their children, the only home they know is Lagos State. And all of a sudden, you're waking up 30 years later or 40 years later and you're saying, go back to the Southeast. That's ignorant. Now, I want to let you know that those that are saying that Igbo money has done every part of Nigeria more good than it has done the Southeast. Mm-hmm. Igbos have developed every part of this country much more than they have developed the Southeast. I will tell you in good authority that most of the investments that you have in Lagos belong to the Igbos. I can also tell you that at least not less than 50% of the real estate investments in Lagos, they belong to the Igbos. And that's why Lagosians are getting angry now. They're saying, oh yeah, how can this happen? How does Igbo people have all of this? Look at what they did to Landmark recently. Yes. Because it's an Igbo person. And so the question is, it is. I'll prove that to you. Even though it was not said, though it was not said directly about Landmark, it was said in Abuja. The two Igbo brothers who set up a vast
yes, I can remember that case.
Real estate project. And the minister of the FCT is saying, who happens to be an Igbo person, is saying, how can an Igbo person own all of this property?
He never identifies with the Igbo tribe.
But Mwike is not Yoruba, neither is it Hausa. Mwike is Igbo. He's Igbo. It doesn't matter what he claims, right? He's Igbo. Now, the point is, he's asking, how does an Igbo person own all of this land? But somebody sold it to them because they are Nigerians. And so if they see value in a piece of property and put money down to buy it, why stop them because they are Igbo? So what's the hate against the Igbo? What's this hate about the Igbo tribe? Now, I've said it a million times that the only reason any Yoruba person will stand up and hate on the Igbo, or any Hausa person will stand up and hate on the Igbo, is nothing else but the progressiveness of the Igbo man. They just hate us because we're very progressive people, right? I listened to a video on where Ahmadu Bello was saying, I think it was Ahmadu Bello, and I posted that on my YouTube, where he was saying a couple of years ago before he died that the Igbos are very smart people and are very ambitious, right? And so you hate them because they are very ambitious. He said in his very own words that if an Igbo man comes to a construction site and becomes a foreman, give him a few days or a few months, he becomes the owner or the major contractor of the site. Now, how is that a problem to be progressive? How is that a problem to be ambitious? How is that a problem to want to succeed and actually, have the drive to succeed and what it takes to succeed? That's the quality of an Igbo man, and the rest of Nigeria hate us just for that. So my point is, this undue advantage of Lagos is actually costing the rest of Nigeria a lot, economically, educationally, medically, and every otherwise. How? Because Lagos exists with all the infrastructure it has, every investor wants to go to Lagos because the seaport is closed. If I'm importing, I want my warehouse to be close to the seaport, right? Yeah. If you are an importer,
yes.
It makes more economic sense for you to have a warehouse that is in the same vicinity or locality as the seaport, so that the commute between the seaport to the warehouse is shortened and the cost is low, right?
Yeah. Now,
it doesn't make sense for any Igbo person to have a large warehouse, the biggest warehouse in Onitsha, and then the seaport is in Lagos. So every time you import, you have to now pay a lot of money to freight those goods from the seaport at Tinkan all the way to Onitsha. It doesn't make economic sense, right? So that's why every major importer would rather move to Lagos. Now, if I'm an exporter, which I am, right? And for so many years, we've used either the NACO center in Lagos, very close to the international airport, for air freight. When you're exporting through the air, that's where you had to go. If you're exporting by sea, you had to go to Stinken Island. So imagine that I get my goods and I load them up in a container or in a truck, and I have to travel 6, 7, 10 hours from Enugu to Lagos, right? And then when you get to Apapa, there's a gridlock really from one end of Apapa to the other one. Before you get to the seaport, sometimes you're on traffic for about 4 to 5 to 10 days to 2 weeks. I know people in the export community who's lost their perishables, right? Because it took them 2 days to get from Enugu to Lagos. And then when they got to Lagos, just to commute from one end of Apapa Road to Tinkan Airport, the gridlock is there for weeks. And if they had yam or tomatoes or not tomatoes or any perishable like fish and all of that, it spoils, right? Okay. So it affects the business people from these regions. Right? So it's something that I need to call attention to. Now, that's the same reason I'm going to call the name of this brand. They didn't pay me, but allow me to call the name so that people can understand the point. Unilever is in Lagos. Peterson Zakon, PZ is in Lagos. Delta is in Lagos. All of the major manufacturers are in Lagos, not in the southeast. So who are getting all of those jobs? Lagosians. Whether those Lagosians are Yoruba or Igbo, the jobs are coming to people in Lagos, right? Those companies are paying taxes to Lagos. The people they employ are paying income taxes to Lagos. So this is why the GDP of Lagos is the highest in Nigeria, because Lagos has 22 million people. And if only 10 million of those people pay taxes from their income, Lagos is already making the biggest GDP in the country, right? And more people are moving from their states, deserting their states, moving their businesses from their states to this same Lagos. So what we are saying is that this federal government of Nigeria should look into this. And the governor of Lagos State should tell his people, do something about this, okay? We're saying people should go. A few days ago, I saw a video where Lagos State packed up people from a particular location and moved them to Osun State. Yes. Whether you are Hausa, you're Yoruba.
They said they are from Osun, so they took them back.
So they packed all of them, including Hausa people, and went and dumped them at Osun. Yes. Now you want people out of Lagos, but you don't want to decentralize Lagos. The simple thing for you to do is to tell the federal government, please open up on airport. Open up on airport, because that's the single infrastructure that is driving all of these people to Lagos. Right? Open up an airport and make Enugu International Airport truly international. If Anambra has international status, make it truly international. Give it all the same infrastructure and investment that you're giving to Lagos. If you do that, you decentralize Lagos. Now, tell all the airlines that want to fly to Nigeria that they can also use other states, right? Like Ethiopia is doing in Enugu. I really thank them for that, right? Now, Airpeace Onyema I saw a video yesterday where Onyema was saying that his flights to London are being frustrated, right?
Because of what?
Because of what he did, the upturn, when he came in, prices came down. So they want to push him out of business so they can raise prices again. So if you're, let's say you fly to Gatwick all the time, and your customers know you fly to Gatwick, that is established in the airline industry. So they know you do Lagos Gatwick weekly, 3 times weekly. But what is happening with Airpeace is that they're not giving him a particular location to land. Today they give him Gatwick, tomorrow they give him Heathrow. It's inconsistent. It's going to affect his operation and his business. So he was saying that this is what they suffer, right? So what I'm trying to say in essence is that if you open up Anambra as International Airport, open up Enugu as an international airport, open Port Harcourt as an international airport, make it known that all of these international carriers can fly to any of these locations just the same way they fly to Lagos, right? And so you open it up. What it's going to do is that instead of all of the flights landing in Lagos and congesting Lagos, some of them can go to Anambra, some of them can go to Port Harcourt, and the other ones can go to Anambra, reducing the inflow of people that come to Lagos on a given day, right? So that's what we're asking for. You need to decentralize the airport, decentralize the seaport, decentralize, how do you call it? Investment offices. Now, the other thing that is happening, most of the major government offices are either in Lagos or Abuja.
Yes.
And the heads of these parastatals are almost always as Hausa or Yoruba, and a few of them are Igbos. I can tell you in good authority right now that if you want to register a company, you have to go through CSE. And CSE headquarters is in where? Abuja. There are certain things that you can't do at the CSE office. You have to go to Abuja, right? Now, we try to register what we call an LTG, limited by guarantee, right? Now, the people sitting at the head of this decision-making processes are Yoruba people or Hausa people. Once they see an Igbo name, discrimination comes in. I'm telling you, this is something I experienced last year. I wanted to register an LTG and they just won't approve it because it's an Igbo person. And what we're trying to register was so innovative that they look at it and they'll be like, why would we let this go to Enugu? These are the things we suffer, right? Just being from other parts of Nigeria. So you need to decentralize these things and remove the discrimination attached to decentralization as well, so that other states can equally do well, do their businesses freely. And that will be enough motivation for people to move to the Southeast. If I know that I'm in the Southeast and I'm able to use an airport, I don't have to go to Lagos. I can do importation or exportation. Or I want to register an LTG. There's an office, a federal government office in Enugu that can handle that, headed by an Igbo person, right? Or I want to, do one transaction or another with a government office. And there is an office in the Southeast, that is a federal agency that can handle that without me needing to go to Lagos. Come on. Every time we need to go to get a visa, it has to be Abuja or Lagos. It's just not fair. It's just not right. And so these are the undue advantages that I'm talking about. The UK High Commission did a good job by opening an office in Enugu here recently. Yes. And so that means that if you need to get a UK visa, you don't need to go to Lagos or Abuja anymore. You just have to go to that place at the independent slot and go and apply for your visa. These are the kinds of decentralization that we're talking about. Now, to finish this, I want to say this. Again, I'm calling on the governors of the Southeast. They're not doing a great job, at making sure that these benefits are offered to the citizens of the Southeast. They're just leaving us to it, and we're just suffering, right? Now, I'm calling on all of them to come together, the 5 Southeastern states, and go lobby the South governors. We need to have something like a Southern Nigeria Commission or Southern Nigeria Development Commission. Southeast alone can make it. That is clear. In as much as I want, them to decentralize and give power back to, give power back to the regions. But Southeast as an individual region cannot make it. We need a partner, and we need the South. Why do we need the South? On airport belongs to the South. So if we say we are Southeast, we'll do our thing. South should do our thing. They lock up. If they lock up and they don't give us access to their seaport, then trade is dead.
So
right?
They need to work collectively.
Collectively, they need to work as a region. So I'm looking forward to seeing something similar, or call it whatever you want to call it, but something like a Southern Nigeria Development Commission, where you have a synergy between the South